Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone rule well. Peace and blessings, salutations to the whole collective Israel. Alright, this lesson I'm going to get into just a real quick lesson that, this wickedness that you see all around you that's going on in the world, it's not going to continue forever. Okay, and we are in those end times where you will see the transfer of the world being the earth, go from the wicked, which are first being the Edomites, which are the so-called white people collectively, and following them the rest of the heathen nations, and it will be given into the hands of the Israelites, which are the righteous, starting with Yahweh and Yahweh Shai and the elect. All right. And then the rest of the nation will follow accordingly, which are so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the people whose father's seed line goes back to one of the tribes. All right. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 7. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. All right, so we're vexed with this place, man. All right, this place is filthy and disgusting in every way possible, and we want it to be destroyed. If you were in your right mind, you would want this place to be destroyed. You would want these prophecies to come alive and soon, man. Okay, and you can see that the major signs and a good amount of prophecy has been passing, but, shit, so-called, shit, if that's how you want to call it, shit has not hit the fan, right? Which is a phrase, basically meaning, stuff didn't pop off yet, like we're expecting it to, but, we can't put a time frame on it, so to speak, right? I can't tell you, August 5th, this is going to happen, and, I don't know, okay, but I told you that sign, don't be surprised if hell broke loose soon after that, man. The blood moon, because that was prophecy from Joel 2, all right? Because the scriptures, for the most part, have many fold, and then they usually are talking about one thing, but they can also mean another as well, okay? So now I'm going to go to 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 5, and spare not the old world, but save Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. So what was wrong with the old world? It was wicked. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after should live ungodly. What was wrong with Sodom and Gomorrah? It was wicked. And they delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, for that righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to preserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. So if you were in your right mindset and you were just and upright, you would be vexed by this place, man, by seeing faggots and adulterers and all this madness, around us. It would vex you, man, and you would want it to be destroyed. This is Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly, shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch, right? And America is going to get destroyed by nuclear ICBM missiles, all right, by nuclear missiles. It's going to be laid desolate, all right? And rightfully so. And the only people that are going to be delivered out of that is the elect and the 1/3. Right, which, whoever is of the elect and the 1/3 that lives in America, if they continue pushing, they'll have to have faith and they'll get delivered, all right, by the chariots, which are what you call UFOs, all right. All right. This is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem, Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Okay, it's talking about getting dissolved by a nuclear missile. This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. All right, the whore is America, right? And the 10 horns and the beast represent EU and NATO, or NATO and the EU. All right, and America is that whore that you can see the NATO and the EU turning against, man. And there's going to be a point in time where they're going to be, they're all going to come together against America, which is already really happening, and they're going to destroy America. Okay? So this wickedness is not going to continue forever, man. A lot of people, they think that they're going to go forever, especially these devils, all right? They think that America's never going to be destroyed and that, it's just going to go on and on and on, and that's not true, man. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Because that's how they think. Who's going to bring us down? Because they are so programmed and so, caught up in all their lies that they actually truly believe that they're they're the superior people on the planet, and that nobody can take them down. They put themselves above God, whether they want to admit it or not. All right. This is Psalms chapter 49, verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. All right. So they believe that their houses or their rulership, their heaven, is going to continue forever, all right, which is very, very far from the truth, all right? And you got a lot of our people that don't want America to be destroyed themselves because they lack the understanding. This is Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore will I change their glory into shame. All right. Let's get a couple more here. Salakia. Well, I can get this, I guess. This is 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein, that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. All right, which you can see our people still doing today. Instead of first of all, they reject the knowledge, like it said in Hosea, and then, like it says here in 1 Maccabees, they want to basically be like the heathen and do what the heathens do. So now, after so long of that happening, they believe that they're one, man, with the heathens, when we're a completely different people. That's how they feel. They don't want America to be destroyed because they think America's their home. All right. They don't want judgment to come upon our enemies because they think that they're their friends. All right. They're so lost in this gross darkness that has swallowed up the world, which is why we need to, say T.R.O.Y how by Shmal Shai for taking us out of that gross darkness. All right. This Isaiah chapter 60 verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, but Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. All right. So our people are so lost that they actually don't want America to be destroyed, and they actually don't want to be told that they're the chosen people. They don't want to come back to the law. They don't want to do a lot of things, which is why, to end it off with this, 2/3 of our people need to be put to death. All right, and they'll eventually come back because all Israel will be saved. But they're just remaining in their wickedness. But they're, like I said, what I'm going to title this is Wickedness Isn't Going to Continue Forever, or something along those lines. All right, so they're not going to continue believing that for much longer, man, because there's going to be a point in time where they're going to see that what they were believing in and who they thought were their friends and the truth, what they think, perceive as truth in the real world is all going to be destroyed. All right, are being torn down, especially during Jacob's trouble. They're going to see who their enemies are, and they're going to see that they shouldn't have rejected the knowledge that the men of the Lord were trying to give them. All right, and they're going to realize that them bucking up against us was a terrible thing to do. This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will refine them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my God. All right, and that 9th verse is talking about the elect. All right, Lord willing, we're of the elect. All right, so with that said, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Shmal Shai. Double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone Row. Peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful, elective Israel. Shalom.